Okay, the stream is live now. I'm gonna make you host again.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll make you co-host. Hi, Carl. Good to see you. How are you doing?
Good. And you?
Oh, good, good. Can't complain. I mean, I made it here.
Yeah, it's hot. I'm up in Toronto area,
Yeah.
It's hot today.
Is it hot, really?
Yeah, it's the worst day we've had.
Humid. How hot is it?
It's going to be 30 degrees centigrade, so I can't translate. 30 centigrade. 31. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, because you should really be kind of cold still, shouldn't you?
Well, we were a week ago. I was still wearing a jacket.
Right. Yeah, I've been finding it's just getting hotter and hotter.
No, we had a very cold winter, and
did you?
we didn't have any. I think 6 weeks ago I had 2 warm days, so I sat outside in the back. 6 weeks ago. Since then, I just in the last week I've been able to sit in the back. So we've had cold weather, cold winter.
Have you? Well, then you'll be looking forward to the summer, huh?
I like the winter. I really like the winter.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, does it really get like hot and humid in the summer for you up there?
Yes. You have to have an air conditioner. You die. You might need to put it on 20 times in the summer, maybe 20 times. That's all. 25 times. It's not the whole summer, but
But you have a few days, yeah. Well, I grew up in New England, and it in Connecticut, hot, humid summers. Ugh.
Toronto's further south than the border. The Canadian U.S. border. That's up here. Toronto's down here.
It dips down, right?
Down to the Great Lakes.
So you're getting you get the humidity off the lakes. That's what's giving you that humidity. Yeah.
Like New York could have terrible humidity. We have the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I guess I just never think of you guys having it up there, but you're right. You're down more south.
Yeah.
Getting it off the lake.
Donna, there's more Android phones out there than there are iPhones. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And Samsung's doing pretty well. It's pretty good.
Yeah, they're very popular. And they're good phones. I mean, I have my Motorola, which I like my Motorola, but would I probably trade it for a Samsung in a heartbeat? Probably.
Google bought. Do you know that Google once bought Motorola, or was it Microsoft? Microsoft. It was either
Microsoft. Oh yeah, someone did.
Yeah.
I don't think they still have them though.
I don't know.
Microsoft's out of the phone world.
Yeah, no.
They finally bailed on that.
Yeah.
It's tough in the Android. There's a lot of competition
in Android.
In the Android, I mean, there's.
Well, I thought just Google and Samsung are the big guys. I thought.
Well, LG's pretty popular, and of course Motorola.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's all types of other ones. I mean, for price point, I think you have quite a variation of prices. So it's
Somebody just told me that Samsung is going to extend updating software an extra year. A professor friend of mine just bought a Samsung because they told him they're going to extend the software updates an extra year.
Oh.
It would only be 2 years. He told me. I don't believe that, but he said now they're going to extend the software updates 3 years. That's what he told me yesterday. So he bought a Samsung
for free. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, 3-year updates free. It used to be 2. That's what he told me. But
I didn't realize they charged you for updates.
No, they didn't charge you, but they wouldn't give you updates after 2 years. That's what he told me.
Oh, they would make you want to buy another phone.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now they want to compete, so they added on an extra year. That's what he told me. I trust him, but I would have to check it out.
I mean, for the environment, that would be better. Because these phones really can last,
Yeah.
quite many years.
Yeah.
It's let's see, we've got Wilsey coming in twice here. Hello, Anne. Welcome to the class. What kind of phone do you have, Anne? Oh, what did Kevin say? LG said on Monday it will close its loss-making move. Whoa, really?
What were we just talking about? Wow.
Kevin, wow. Oh, yeah, look at the manufacturer. Okay, Kevin, you're busy doing some research for us here. Did you look in chat, Carl?
Well, I am actually a phone enthusiast. I also use many phones.
Do you?
I switch phones like shirts. So,
Oh,
so it's about my market.
Oh, that's funny. So what's your favorite model, Kevin?
Well, currently in Samsung, it's S21 Ultra. And in Xiaomi, which is also called Xiaomi, it's going to be F3, Poco F3.
Yeah, that's true. Those are two models we don't talk about. Those are the ones on the coming up on the Asian side, the Asian market. Yeah. So it's
In your
Samsung.
area, OnePlus is going to be the new king.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samsung 30. That doesn't surprise me. 36% of the market, because just looking at these classes, usually it's more Samsung. Wow. So that's it. So did they say when? They're going to close it. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Okay, Anne. Oh, so Anne has, speaking of Samsung, she's got a Samsung too. Hi, Wilsey. You made
Hi
it
there.
in. Did you have trouble getting in? At one point, I saw two of you on coming in.
Right. I had trouble. It kept saying that I had to wait until you let me in. It took a while.
Oh,
And then I went to another computer, but I'd rather be today on my laptop.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome to the class. It's good to see you.
And yes, I have a Samsung.
Oh, it's kind of shocking about LG, but then again, I guess it's not. It's I think those what how do you pronounce it? The Extreme, or the ones coming from the Asian markets are becoming very popular. I think Samsung's going to have a little, competition maybe.
I thought Google was going to, a lot of people go to the Google Pixel.
Yeah. Well, the Google Pixel, my understanding is it looks similar to the iPhone interface. It looks more like an iPhone than it does an Android. So that definitely makes a difference for some people, especially if you're used to one or the other. All right. Well, welcome everyone to get set up this morning here. I want to welcome you. My name is Donna. I'm your guide for today. Today's class, we're going to be talking about Android Advanced Tips and Tricks 2. My name is Donna. I was in the IT industry for over 30 years. I enjoy helping people get over their fears of technology. The session is being recorded, and if you wish to get a copy of the recording, you can do so by emailing help@getsetup.io. And we are not paid to promote any of these phones. This is strictly for our own training. Today, we're going to be talking about some different features on the phone. This is a continuation of the tips and tricks, the first one. We're going to talk about do not disturb, how to bring back lost notifications, split screen mode, accessibility settings, among other things too. Start with those. I think we've already been talking about what type of phones people have. Nargis, what kind of phone do you have? I think you're the only one we haven't heard from. All right, and we've got
I got an Android. Sorry,
that's okay.
I was not getting the audible. Finally.
That's okay. Oh, okay.
Anyway, I got an Android. Phone.
Okay. And we have Kevin in the chat who loves phones. Apparently, we just found out he's quite a lover of cell phones. So he's been putting some information in there that you can check out in the chat box. So let's start with the first one is the do not disturb settings on our phones. It's not a handy feature. The symbol looks like it's a circle with a dash in it. I'm going to bring my phone up here. If I swipe down, move my thing over a little bit. If I swipe down from the top of my phone here, you'll see this little circle with a dash. This is do not disturb, what it looks like on. If you click on it, it'll go gray and it'll shut off. And what this feature does is it's handy. Like right now, I'm teaching in a class, and I don't want phone calls coming through or anything like that. So it will silence my phone. Incoming calls are going to voicemail if I get any. I'm not going to be alerted if there's any calls or texts coming in. So it's good if you need your phone to be quiet. You don't want to be disturbed. Or if you sleep, if you have your phone with you when you're sleeping at night, you could change some settings on here where you could have the phone nice and quiet, but still get an important call or something if you wanted to. Depends on how you set it up. So you're going to swipe down from your quick settings, just like I had just done on my phone. You can get it from your quick settings. If you see this bar at the top of your screen, you can take your finger and pull down on it, and you should see more quick settings. So if you see it there, you can just push on it, and you should go right to the settings. Otherwise, you can go to your settings by clicking on your settings button and going under sound. It's usually under sound. If you can't find it on your phone, you should, when you go into your settings, when you click on that little gear button, you should see a search box. And you can type it in there if you can't find it on your phone. But I always try to...
If it's not on your quick drop down, can you put it over there?
Well, that's a good question. I think you should be able to.
I have the Samsung, I think they call it 21 or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, the 21. That's kind of new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can add in. I don't know if it'll let you add in, but when you do your quick settings, you should see a little edit button.
Okay.
Donna, actually, when I swipe down, I also have to swipe across, and I can
Right.
see
Yeah. The quick settings. Let me show you on my phone too. When you pull down from the top of the screen, like I'm going to do right now, I'm going to pull down. You should see a full screen of quick settings, and then you should be able to scroll to the left and see more on your screen here.
Yeah.
And there is
it is there. It is
there. Yeah. I was going to say it should be there. It's usually there on all the phones. It's one of the key ones there.
Yeah.
And you should be able to press on that, and you could get right to settings. Like on mine, if I just press on it, hold down, and it'll go right to the settings.
Okay.
But if anyone can't, if you can always go in under settings, where the gear is, settings, and go under sound, and you'll find do not disturb. So when you're in the do not disturb section, they give you a bunch of options. I have a Motorola G6. I'm not going to match. I don't think anyone has a Motorola in the class. I guess mine might be the next one to stop selling phones. I don't know. We just heard, I don't know if you're here, well, see, LG just announced they're not doing phones anymore.
Okay.
That's a lot of people have LGs. Because I know when I do these classes, the number one phone is Samsung, and then I would say the number two is LG that I see in the classes. And then after that, it's probably a tie between Pixel and Motorola. So when you look at your do not disturb, I have a section called behavior. This is where you can choose what's going to happen. Like on my phone, I use my phone as an alarm clock, so I want the alarms to definitely sound. Otherwise, that's not going to help. You could decide media, any touch sounds you have. Your phone may have different things, but this is what's when you have do not disturb turned on. What is your phone going to be doing when that's turned on? Is it going to let those alarms go off? Notifications. This is another one. Do you want any notification sounds? Do you want them all off? You could maybe choose to have them off. Another selection is visuals. By visuals, they mean, and you've probably seen this when you're at night and if you're sleeping and your phone is in the room and there's a text or something comes through and there's that glow. You just see that little glow that happens on the screen. Some people don't like that because that wakes them up. They're very sensitive sleepers. So you could say no visuals or sound. So you don't see that in the dark happening. And then you should be able to on your phone, you can customize. You should have little gear where you can customize and tell it what you want it to do. Then on my screen, my customization is when the screen is off, do you want it to turn on the screen? Do you want any notifications? Or if the screen is on, do you want to hide dots, different notifications here? And then there's this section for exceptions. When you're in Do Not Disturb, what calls do you allow? So you should have an allow call section. And that you could say no one. You do not want any calls. And that would mean everything goes to voicemail. Or you could say, well, from everyone kind of defeats the purpose of being in Do Not Disturb. Because that's the most, the most disruptive thing is the phone call, the phone ringing. I have mine set on from contacts only, meaning only people in the contacts on my phone. So only those could go through. You could, if you want to really restrict it, only from starred contacts. When you go into your contacts on your phone where you have everyone listed with the names of the people, if you open up one of your friends or family members' names, and you should be able to see a place where you can do a star, where you can click on a star and they become a starred contact. So if you do that, you only want calls coming in from your husband or your wife or your son or your daughter. So you could star them, make them a starred contact, and then you could tell Do Not Disturb only starred contacts. Those calls could come through. So you can make those choices with your phone. And you may or may not have this feature, allow repeat callers. So if you have this, on my phone, it says, if the same person calls a second time within a 15-minute period. So the first call goes to voicemail. The second call, if it's within 15 minutes, that one's going to ring. So that, again, that's a setting you might have on your phone. Messages, events, and reminders, whether or not you want messages to make any noise, reminders, events. Your phone should have an area where you can, decide how much activity you want to, how much noise basically you want your phone to make. If you want it really silent, then you can go in on your phone and you can silence a lot on your phone. And you should have a section for the duration, the scheduling of it. So what you're telling it is when you push that Do Not Disturb icon, when you turn it on and off, when you're turning it on, how long is it going to stay on for? Now you could have it until you turn it off again, until you push the button again. Or you could do a duration, an hour, 2 hours. Or have it ask you every time. Every time you turn on Do Not Disturb, have it ask you, how long do you want it for? Now, some people's phones, I don't know if anyone here has this problem. I've heard people having the problem where Do Not Disturb icon is next to another button that people accidentally hit the do not disturb and then people complain because they're not getting their phone calls. Has anyone had that problem? I can't remember which model it is. There's a certain phone out there where, people accidentally put on do not disturb and then they don't get any of their messages anymore. So you could, if you accidentally do turn this on from time to time, you could hit in settings, set it for 1 hour. And this way, if you accidentally hit the button and turn it on, it's only going to stay on for an hour and then it'll be back. You don't have to worry about losing phone calls or anything like that. Anyone have any questions about do not disturb? And again, when you swipe down, this is the icon with the dash in it. So to turn it off, like right now it's on my phone. To turn it off, all I do is click on it and that will shut it off. And then if I want to turn it back on, I just have to tap on it and it goes back on.
So is the do not disturb only for phone calls or those email beeps and?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. When you go into your settings, look at your settings and see what choices your phone gives you. And then you can test them. You can see, which ones work the best for you.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, if you look at the I think you're talking about the media. You might want to turn off the media sounds because that'll quiet down a lot of the notifications. So you can play around with the settings until you get that, just right. Especially if you sleep at night with your phone. That's a, nice way to keep it quiet. All right, I've got a couple questions here. How can we stop our phones from beeping all night that's the one, Ann Walker. Okay, you have this. Oh, she has the same question. So you would go into the do not disturb and start shutting off the notifications. So I'll show you this again. If I go into do not disturb, the settings, that's probably under notifications. And on your phone, you should look when you go into do not disturb, go see if there's a notification section where you can do no sound from notifications. That's the one you want to click on. That will stop all the beeps and stuff that happen. Anne, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Were you able to find it on your phone? Anne?
I'm able to go into do not disturb. But once I go into do not disturb, I don't see any of those subcategories of schedule, exceptions, behaviors. I don't see any of them.
What kind of phone do you have?
A Samsung A32.
Oh, A32. Okay. So what settings does it have on there?
When I swipe down, I go to settings, and then I see the circle with the line through it. If right now that's off for me, if I turn it on, it doesn't give me any sub settings. It doesn't give me.
Oh, just push. Just give it a nice solid push, and you should go. It should pop up with the settings.
Hey, one moment.
Well, do it.
No.
Just press. Does it do it?
No.
Oh, it's not doing it. Okay, go under your settings and go to the gear, your settings.
Okay.
And go under sound, and then look for do not disturb.
Okay, go under sound. Sound and vibration. Okay.
Yeah, and then you should see do not disturb.
Okay, one moment.
Hopefully.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much.
Click on that, and then you should see all your settings for your phone for that, and you can go through and see, what you want to shut down on.
Okay, great. Everything was clear except me finding it. Now that I know where it is, I can play around with it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, now that you know where it is. And at the end of this class, this email, I give all the instructions you see on my slides. I put them in the email.
Okay,
so
thank you.
You'll know where to find things.
Okay, great.
All right. And then you can set it what is appropriate for you. If look and see what your phone lets you do on that. And you can play with it and get it to the point where it's, at night, it's not waking you up. It's, keeping it perfect. All right. Any other questions? We'll move on to the next one. This one I call it bringing back lost notifications, but really you could use this to create other type of shortcuts on your phone if you want to. If there is a setting that you are always changing and you want to have it accessible on one of your home pages, you can do that. So this is what you do is you press down on a blank part of your screen, blank, no icons, just press down with your finger. And what you're going to see is I'm going to bring my phone up. You're going to see this little menu. So all I did was press down on a blank spot of my screen and a little menu comes up. I have wallpapers, widgets, and home settings. You might have something different with your phone. It depends on your phone. And home settings, by the way, while we're here, on some phones, you can determine the order of your home page, whether it's the first page that comes up or the second, because on some of our phones, home page is the second page. There's a left page. So you can take a look at that if you're ever wondering about how to adjust things like that. This is the home screen layout. You can determine, like on my phone, I can determine, for instance, if it's going to be 4x5. See, if I change it, there's 4 icons across, or I can do 5 icons across. So you can make changes like that if your phone shows you those home screen settings. So press down, you'll see what we want to go into is widgets. Click on widgets. And then you'll see widgets. Now, what widgets are just little shortcuts. They can be shortcuts to some functions in an app. Or they could be, like, for instance, on my home page, I've got a widget that shows a clock and weather. This is a widget at the top of my phone here. That's a widget. So when you press down on an empty space on your screen and you go into widgets, you're going to see widgets for clocks, for calendars. Any app that you have on your phone could have a widget. Like, for instance, I have Amazon Music right here. They have a little music widget where I can hit the play and the fast forward while I'm playing music. I could have that. I could put that on my screen if I want to. And, it's just a little thing they add in. So you can look through any app that you have on your phone. Some of them might have some interesting widgets that you could maybe like to use. If you're, if you have Spotify, for instance, Spotify has a little player that you could put on your screen if you want to. To put any of these onto your screen, all you do is press down on them, and then they move out onto your home page or whatever page you want to drop it on. So we're going to go down to settings. So when you're in the widget area, just go down to settings. You should see a little widget for settings. And you're going to press down on it and drag it. You barely have to move it, really. You just kind of press down on it, and it's going to move out onto your screen. And you let go, and then a menu pops up. So you could, any of these, you could create a shortcut. Any of these settings. I'm using the notification log as an example. You should see notification log. If I tap on it, it's just going to create. Now I've got a little shortcut for the notification log. If I tap on that, I'm going to see notifications. I don't know if this has ever happened to you. You see a notification come in, a phone call or something, and then you hit clear and you realize, I should have read that. Well, this is a way to go back and you can see what the notification was. But you could anything on that settings. Let's say I'm going to go back in. I'm going to press down on my screen again, go under widgets, go down to settings. I have so many apps on this phone. Go down to settings. I'm going to press down on settings. I'm going to create another little icon here. I'm going to move it over here where there's room. Let go of it. Menu comes up. Let's say you're always messing with your display. Well, you could make a little widget on your screen for display. Or you're doing hotspot and tethering with your phone. So you could go through this list. If there's something that you're always messing with, you could create a little shortcut in this from these settings shortcuts. And your phone may have different setting shortcuts than my phone has. So you could take a look. You might have something in there that you would like a shortcut on your screen. Maybe you're always doing there's one here for sound. Oh, just display, battery. So you can go and, if you want to put something on there. Anyone have any questions about that?
So are those the icons that you're putting on?
Yeah, you're just putting an icon, a shortcut onto your screen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So just to show you that those exist. And the widgets, those widgets, did anyone find an interesting widget for one of their apps that they have on their phone?
I did.
Yeah, what'd you find, Carl?
Contacts. I got a little widget for every one of my contacts.
Yeah.
With their names.
So pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I got a screen of their pictures, little widgets with their pictures, and either they call the cell phone or call the home phone, or you got a choice sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can find different clocks, calendars, different, so, and you can always I just put these widgets on my phone. Oh, my phone is so full. Like I just put this notification log widget on there. If you don't want it anymore, you just get rid of it. On my phone, I just press down on the icon and swipe up and it's gone. Some phones you have to press down and it will jiggle and then you can click on remove from page. It might say something like that to get rid of the icon. But yeah, take a look at your widgets, see what you have. All the music, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon Music, they all have some type of a little player where you can do your fast forward and, all that. And it's fun to kind of go. I like to go through every now and then because I have so many apps on my phone and it's interesting to see what some of these apps, what they have for a widget. And they never really tell you about it. Oh, so, okay, yeah. So moving apps to shortcuts, do I run the risk of deleting the app? And no, you don't. To delete apps, for instance, let me just press down on one of these icons on my phone here. This quick logic puzzles. If I press down the icon, you'll see app info. If I click on app info, this is where uninstall. When you do this, the app is gone.
Okay, thank you.
But, for instance, I always like to do this in the beginner's class. Candy Crush is on this page. I can press down on Candy Crush and I can swipe up and it's off my page. But if I look in my app folder, if I swipe up from the bottom and get into my app folder, Candy Crush is here.
Okay, great.
So you can move icons all you want. Now, like, for instance, this Candy Crush, let's say I want to put it back on the page. All I do is press on it, drag it out, and I bring it back on the page.
Okay.
And if I look at my app folder, pull up again, it's still there. So moving these icons around and everything has nothing to do with your app folder. There's always the the original icon is in the app folder. And the only way to remove it, you have to uninstall.
Thank
and
you.
Also, too, Ann, if you have a Samsung or Motorola or any of our different types of phones we have, and I know Samsung has a lot of different apps. You can't uninstall a manufacturer's app. So try as you may, but they're not going to let you do it.
Thank you.
I still remember about, was it 8 years ago or something? There was that Amazon page. Oh my Lord. I had one of my Androids. The whole left page was Amazon apps, and they were big and you could not get rid of them. Yeah. So any other questions?
Give me a heads up again on how to first get widgets in the beginning.
Yeah, just press down on an empty spot on your page.
Okay, great.
And then
Thank
you should get a menu. Mine has home settings, widgets, and wallpapers. You might have just something different on your phone, but the widgets is, it's kind of a nice feature on our phones. And you do have the home settings too. If you're curious, you could take a look at that
Okay.
to deal with your home page and how things look on your phone. All right. Split screen mode. This is a feature I hardly ever used until about this past year, I would say. The codes, all those security codes, when you go to sign on to a website and then they send you the code and then you got to type the code in. And sometimes I don't do it fast enough and then I got to get another code. Does that happen to anyone?
Yes.
All the time.
All the time. Yes, it's happening to me all the time. And it is not me. I know for sure. It's certainly not me. So split screen mode has really come handy because of all these security codes. I just can't remember more than 2 numbers at once, and I can't type fast enough. So I've got a lot going against me. So with split screen mode, it allows you to look at 2 apps at the same time on the screen. They split the screen between each other and you can move. It's nice if you're a note taker. If you're a person that likes to take notes while you're reading stuff, you could be reading something on one screen and on the bottom screen, you could be taking your notes as you're going. So it is a handy feature on our phones. So to do this, first of all, open up a couple apps on your phone so you have something to work with. I'm just going to open up a couple things here. All right. All right. I think I got a couple things open here. There we go. All right. So what you're going to do is go into, on your phone, your Recents tab, which is that square in the bottom of your phone. It's either going to be a square or it's going to be usually vertical lines. Sometimes it's horizontal lines. It's down on your navigation bar. If you click on that, you're going to see the different apps you have open on your phone. So pick the first app that's going to be on the screen. I'm going to pick my browser. And what you can do is there's an icon for the browser. You'll see it. That represents, like, this is Chrome. So it's got the big Chrome button. It's a big button usually. What you'll do is you'll click on that. And you have a little menu that shows up when you click on that button. And one of the options, you can get app info. One of the options is split screen. So you click on the split screen, and that app is going to show up. You see right now on my phone, it's up here on the top. You can see my browser. It's sitting here. There's a black bar. It's getting ready to split. So then I will select the second app to go with that. I'm going to select this writing app. So I'm going to tap on that to open it up, to bring it forward, and now it's going to be split. So I could sit here and take my notes and be on my browser here. Could be reading articles or whatever I'm doing on Google. Or you could have your email opened up to that code that you're trying to type into a web page. And then you can easily just, if you can't, because some of those codes, I can't copy and paste them for some reason. You can't even do that on some of them. So if you have that situation, now you can have it on two screens and you can easily type in that code. I'm going to take my phone off the screen for a second. Are people finding it? And to get out of that mode, there's a black bar in the center of your screen. You can either drag it up or down. And what it will do is if you drag it up, it's going to close the top app. If you drag it down, it will close the bottom app. And that will undo the split screen.
Donna?
Yeah.
I'm on my Samsung. I'm in my recents. I got 2 apps there, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to hold my finger on one of them.
Yeah. Did you find it should be the little button. Let me go back to my screen.
I didn't see a split screen there. I got my current open. I got 2 apps there.
Do you have a little button like what I have on my phone? I'm circling it for each app has their own little button.
Oh, yeah.
Their logo. See,
Yeah.
when you're going through, they each have their own little button on top there.
Got it.
You
Thank
tap on that. That's going to have.
Got it.
You'll see the split screen. Good question.
It doesn't seem to work on the game that I'm trying to open. I don't have at the top, I don't have.
It might not let you do a split screen on that.
Okay.
Some games, is it a game that always works like landscape mode or something? Because some of the games, they automatically they make you turn your phone landscape to use them. I could see
I'm sorry, this one is, I don't think I have the option to turn it to landscape.
Yeah, and it might have to do with the game.
So I'm really trying to open up, let's say,
like your browser.
Google.
And
yeah, and I can't seem to make that happen either. So what do I need to do?
Just go ahead. Let me get back to my phone here. Like for instance, I would open up a browser on my phone. I'm just going to go down to the bottom on my favorites button here, and I'll just open Chrome. Just click on it to open it.
Yeah, they got so that it opens up on T-Mobile. It doesn't open on Chrome.
It doesn't matter. T-Mobile, but you can change to a different website, right? It's probably going to T-Mobile's to their web page, their homepage.
Right. So the only time I can actually open up Google, they have like in the middle of the screen, the G on one side, and then on the other side, the microphone.
Oh yeah. You can type something in there to open up Google. It doesn't matter. And you can open up any app and do this with it. Like right now, like let's see, this is Google Meet. And it even lets me do split screen on Google Meet, which you probably never would do that. And this one's Cloud Beats. This is a music app. Now this one does not let you do split screen.
Right.
But I can do split screen with this. This is a writing app. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I already started my split screen, so it doesn't matter. So I just click on it, and now the writing app is in a split screen with Google Meet, which would probably never do that. But the first app, you select split screen. The second app, you just tap on that app to open it up, and it should go into your split screen.
Okay. I'm gonna have to play with it because I can't get it off of Google. It won't happen.
Yeah, you might have to play a little bit with it on your phone, but it's just becoming a very handy feature to use. split screen mode has been on our phones forever. It's really been a feature that's been around. Not too many people are aware of it, I think. But boy, it just seems like this past year, everyone is using those security codes. And I'm starting to use it more just because I can't get the code typed in fast enough, or it won't. Sometimes on my email, it won't. I can't copy and paste it for whatever reason. It won't let me do that. And I'm sure some of you are having that same problem with those codes. It's a little annoying. All right. Well, if there's any other questions, we'll move on. Let's talk about the accessibility settings on our phones. Go into your settings and look for accessibility. We talk about accessibility. These are apps that help you if you have any hearing issues, if you have sight issues, dexterity issues. I know for myself, I like to use my accessibility menu because I have some arthritis, and sometimes those volume up and down buttons, first of all, I have trouble finding them on my phone in the dark, and they're hard to push. So I have an accessibility menu installed on my phone, and I can do it that way. So take a look in your settings under accessibility. Usually have to scroll a little bit down the list. It's more down towards the second half of your settings listing. And you can see different things that are there. And you might have the ability to do what they call an accessibility menu, and I'll show you mine. And that can be just a shortcut that you're going to do a 2-finger or a 3-finger swipe, or you're going to tap on a button. And just to show you, when I bring my phone up, I've got this little person in the lower right-hand corner of my screen. You may have noticed this little person with their arms out. It's right next to my Recents button. When I click on this little person, this is my accessibility menu. I can turn my volume up and down. I can deal with my brightness. I can do my power button. I can lock my screen. If I scroll to the left, I can take screenshots. So it just gives me some accessibility to some of the buttons on the phone. But there are apps. If you look in your section, you might see an app called Live Transcribe. And if your phone doesn't have Live Transcribe, you can download it from the Google Play Store. And that is a captions app. So if you have hearing issues and you find that when you're in a restaurant with your friends, you have trouble hearing what's being said, you could have this open next to you on your phone, and you can glance down and you can see what the phone is picking up for the words. So all it does is captions. Let me see if I have it on my phone. Has anyone ever used it?
No, but that seems great.
Oh, right here. This is right. I do have it on my phone. Live Transcribe. This is what it looks like. So as I'm talking, it's going to start showing what I'm saying. So you can put this down by your plate when you're having, lunch with your friends or whatever, and then you can look down and see what, if you're having a little trouble hearing, your phone will pick up the speech, especially in a very quiet restaurant or something like that. So if you don't see Live Transcribe on your accessibility menu, you can just go look for it in the Google Play Store. It's a downloadable app.
Donna, is it? I have an LG K31. This is Francine, and
Hi.
If it's not called Live Accessibility, would it be maybe called something else so that we don't have to go to the Google Play Store and fish around for it?
You could look in your accessibility menu and see if you have something. You might have an equivalent to it for your phone.
Yes, I'll poke around. It might be called something different. Now, when you talk to your phone and it's transcribing as you speak, where does that text go? How do you save it? Where is
it's not to save, it's just to It's a captioning. It just,
Oh, I see.
it's just
Okay.
displaying what's being said.
Yes, okay. Is there a way that we can dictate to our phone?
That's a good question. I'm wondering if it, oh, I have a little echo. Transcription not saved. I don't know if this one lets you save. Oh, that you can save a transcription here for 3 days.
Okay. But if we, for example, wanted to dictate, if we were out and about and we wanted to dictate a letter, could we email it to our home PC and then so it would already be typed?
I would use your voice recorder.
Okay.
You should have a recorder in your apps.
I don't need to do that right now. I'm not that sophisticated. I was just curious.
All of our Android phones should have some type of a voice recorder or recorder. So it'll be called something like that.
All right, thank you.
But they should be on there. If your phone doesn't have one, you can go to Google Play Store and do a search for voice recorders. There's a lot of them.
All right,
you can get one, and then they'll let you edit files, audio files, and all types of stuff you can do.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is sweet.
What'd you find?
I found under Google, it said it was already on my phone. I didn't know that.
There you go.
And so now as I'm talking, when you were talking, all of it is it's like closed captioning, and it's nice size, nice font size. And
you can just have it your phone just sitting on the table next to you, and you can glance down because it's nice big letters. So it's easy to read, and so take a look. I encourage you to take a look at your accessibility section of your phone and look, because all types of things, like for instance, short touch and hold delay, that has to do with icons. If you find that you accidentally open icons, like they open too quickly for you, you could slow down. You could put some delay in that so that the icons don't open right away. Or if you want them to open quicker, so you can set delays. You can change the size of your text, the font size, for instance. If I go under font size, I can move my font size up, and it'll show you how big the letters are going to get on your screen. There's magnification that is there. If, just pinching with your fingers in and out is not enough magnification for you, that you can add more on your phone just by turning magnification on. There's color correction if you have issues with discerning colors. So take a look at what your phone has. If you have a thing called an accessibility menu, then what you could do is turn it on and see what it does on your phone. See what features come up.
Anna?
Yeah, Carl?
For people who have Samsung phones, there's an app for email. It's a red letter kind of envelope app. And when you're creating an email with the Samsung email app, it has a microphone there. It has a little microphone there.
Nice.
And when you press the microphone, actually Google's coming up to do that for you, voice to text. I just tried it.
Now, is that in the accessibility menu under Samsung?
I don't know. It's in my email. I opened up my Samsung email, and I saw and I said I want to create an email, and I saw a microphone, so I hit the microphone, and then Google kind of microphone came up, and I said it's waiting for me to say something, so I said hello, how are you, and it typed it in my email.
So what app does your Samsung email use for?
Email. It's the Samsung email application. It's got a red envelope. I'm just going to look at it for you here. One sec.
So how does it end? It doesn't end with yahoo.com. It doesn't say.
No, it's an icon. We'll see. It's an icon, a red circle with a white envelope. That's my email, Samsung email application. It's an icon.
Oh, that's my visual voicemail. When someone leaves a voicemail.
Oh, well, for my Samsung, it's a round circle and a white envelope. I press on that and then I create an email and there's a microphone there. I hit the microphone. Google comes up and says, okay, I'm listening.
Okay.
Yeah, Google Assistant, that's something that, it can, it definitely is a handy program. You can dictate text messages too. Same type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, so take a look at what your phone has under this area. You might find some interesting things.
Yeah, really
That
good.
they have. And check, after if your phone doesn't update or anything like that, or if you get a new phone, go look back again to see what, because this area, more and more apps are being developed for people, to help them out. So definitely check those out. All right. Well, we're getting kind of at the end here. Let's see what. Last thing we'll talk about is gestures. On the most phones, it's going to be under settings, system, gestures. So system is way down at the bottom of your settings. It's one of the last sections. And then under Samsung, you're going to go under settings, advanced features, and then motions and gestures. This is another handy little area going into gestures because our phones will have different types of gestures. I have a fast flashlight. I love this thing. If I want to turn the flashlight on my phone, all I do is do 2 quick karate chops with my phone and the flashlight comes on. And then I do 2 more and it comes off. So take a look at what your phone can do. There are I think they call it quick capture on my phone. You twist your wrist twice quick and your camera opens up. That's great for if you're traveling and you're always taking pictures. You can just do 2 quick flicks of your wrist and the phone, the camera opens up for a quick picture. You'll have the 3 fingers screenshot where if you set that on, you can touch your screen with 3 fingers at the same time and the screenshot will be taken. So take a look at what your phone has. You might find something that will help you out. There's some of them, when your phone rings, if you pick up your phone, it will stop ringing, which is nice in the middle of a meeting. If your phone suddenly rings, you can pick it up and it'll stop. Or on some phones, you have to just turn it face down. You just grab the phone, quickly turn it face down, and it stops ringing. So it depends on the type of phone you have. So you might find some interesting gestures that your phone has. And again, this is another area because it deals with motion. Every new phone you get, you should take a look at the gestures you have. Or if you get an update, there might be newer features showing up. Anyone find an interesting gesture?
Donna, under Samsung,
Yeah.
it's under display navigation bar.
Yeah, you can choose whether or not you have one.
That's display navigation bar for my Samsung anyways.
Yeah, because you can, some people, and if you get and the new phones, a lot of new phones don't have those 3 buttons at the bottom anymore. And you have to go in where Carl is talking about. You have to go in to turn them on if you want them. But otherwise, you do the back and your the home thing, you have to do it through your hand gestures. So they definitely have changed the way you interact with your phone. So you're going to see more and more of these type of things. Some phones, you just swipe your hand across the phone and it will silence it, or it might, it depends on what your phone does. Francine?
Donna, I can't, my gestures weren't under, I'm still looking for them in settings. I'm very new with my phone.
Go up to your, what type of phone is yours?
I have an LG K31, but let me ask you this general question, because this is probably going to come up again with me. If I want to look for a particular feature and I don't want to poke around in every subheading, is there a way I can enter Oh, I just figured it
Yeah.
out. Okay, it says
You
search
should-
settings,
yeah.
and then you
Yep.
can type in what you're looking for. Okay,
Yep.
because
Yep.
that's what I was looking for, not to go into Google, to go into my smartphone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just type it in there, and then your phone will show you. And if there's multiple areas, it'll show you that too. So that can
Okay.
be an interesting thing too. If you type in something and it's in a couple different areas, that's a good way to explore a new part of your phone.
Yes. Also, do smartphones have embedded in them, so to speak, the manual for each phone?
Yes, in your settings, go all the way down to the bottom. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of your settings. You should have a help section.
Okay.
You should see something. You should have something there, at least.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I think we're at the end here. I want to thank everyone for coming today. Hopefully this was a helpful class for you.
Thank everyone for coming today.
You'll get the notes in the email when I send it out to you. We have the beginners class using Android phone. This class is the second of the advanced tips and tricks. There's a number 1 and this was number 2. And we do have the Android security and safety features. That class, we talk about setting up medical ID information on your phone. If you're interested in how to do that, that would be the class for you to do. And you'll get an email. Go ahead and fill out your feedback. If you have any new class suggestions, that you can go ahead and put those in there also. You can invite friends when you're on our website or on your phone. You should see a button that says invite a friend. You can click on that and you can invite them to your class so you can share it with a friend of yours. You can do that through email and Facebook. And we do have our help@getsetup.io email, which is good for not only just support, but if you have new class ideas, or if you'd like to get more involved in the community, you can, maybe there's an interest group that you'd like to do. You can suggest that. And you can always get the recordings. And if you go to getsetup.io, there is a search box in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. You can search for particular classes that you might be interested in. Like if I type in, we're in Android. If I type in Android, you're going to see the Android classes listed here. You can just, if you just hit enter at this point, you should come up with a whole page that shows all the Android different the classes. There is a schedule, and you also at the search box, you can put in the guide's name. If there's a guide that you're interested, you can type their name in, and you can see all the classes they take, that they teach. You can filter on the right side of the screen. If you're looking for, let's say you're just looking for art classes, then I can tap on art, and it will show you art classes that are available, or maybe not. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I got to undo my search. Here we go. Now, when I click on it, let's do aging in place, art. You can select by category. You can go to the schedule on the left side too, and you can see what's happening on that day, the classes that are available. Bye, Carl. So everyone, thank you for coming here today. Hopefully this was helpful for you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you, Donna. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.